to give you the overall importance and point of view for this. Okay, so first we had to put the film into the tank the day before. We had to get a black bag which looks like a t-shirt, and it has 2 zippers. You open the first 2 zippers, and then inside you'll put the film opener, the scissors, the film tank, and the reel. Once everything was in the bag, we zipped it up, both zippers. Then you put your hands into the openings on the 2 sides, and then you would feel with your fingers, and you can't see nothing at all, so you're feeling with your fingers. So first you cut the part of the film off and begin to open the film. And you'll begin to load the film into the reel. After that, we would cut the end of the film. The next day, we began developing the film. We got all the chemicals needed to the film, such as developer, stop bath, fixer, pernouage, and the photo flow. Next, we got out 4 beakers and filled each beaker to 600 millimeters and labeled our chemicals. That's very important to make sure you label your chemicals because they all look pretty much the same. They're all clear. Then we put the thermometer to keep track of the temperature, which all the temperature had to be on 21 degrees Celsius. Then we got a hot plate and 2 aluminum pans, and one we put ice in, and the other aluminum pan we put on the hot plate so the beakers keep the beakers from breaking. Then we began putting our chemicals into the tank. We put the chemicals in this order: first developer, stop bath, fixer, pernouage, and photo flow. Once we put the chemicals in, we followed the directions for agitating and resting. Once we finished the chemicals, we were directed to wash our films 30 times with water. And no cutting it short. We had to wash it 30 times. After we took the film out and clipped both ends of the film, we let the film dry and began to clean up all of the materials used. Okay, so that's the main idea of the procedure. Now, our observation. When we began putting the chemicals into the tank, we noticed that some of the chemicals were leaking from the tank. After we finished developing the film, we opened the tank and began to examine our film. We noticed that our film was overdeveloped. We noticed that it was overdeveloped because of some of the pictures came out and the rest were all blanks. The pictures came out in the beginning, some in the middle, and some at the end. The rest were just blank or looked like the pictures were going to appear, but it didn't. So that's the overall of our observation. Okay, the conclusion. In conclusion, I learned that the reason why our films was overdeveloped is because of 2 reasons. We either agitated too fast or the temperature were too high. Another reason why our film was overdeveloped is because when we were agitating the film, the chemicals must have got stuck in the reel, causing the pictures to be overdeveloped. The whole purpose of doing this lab and learning about photography was to show how photography links back to chemistry. Section 7. Film developing information. Okay, so developer contains water, metalloy, sodium sulfite, hydroquinone, borax, and cold water, or water. Stop bath includes acetic acid, water, and that's the equation. Fixer contains water, ammonium disulfate, sodium metapisulfate, and there's the equation for that one. Pernouage includes sodium carbonate and water. Photo flow, sodium sulfate, and water. 8. Photography information. Okay, so these are the pictures that I took. The first picture is a library. It contains wood and paper and plastic. So wood is silicone, Heim silicone, Exoline, paper, silicone, plastic, nuclei, methadone, stuff like that. And unfortunately, my film was overdeveloped. Picture 2 is the same thing. It's a cotton string, yellow string, and it's made up of silicone, protein, ash, wax, organic acid, skin, proteins. Skin is the proteins, non-acylic acids, choline, and carnitine. Picture 3 is a flagpole, which is metal, iron, magnesium, carbon, oxygen, phosphorus, sulfurous, silicone, nitrogen, and aluminum. And the flag is polyester. And the tree is silicone, hydrocon, exolon, and lithion. And Picture 4 is a tissue box. A tissue box is paper, silicone, and lignin. Picture 5 is a flower and vase, which is so it's vase is glass, so it's silicone dioxide, sodium carbonate, potassium carbonate, and calcium carbonate, plastic, organic compounds, methane, water, H2O. Flour is fatty acid, cellulose, flanonons. Wooden floors is silicone, wood, so the basic components of wood. And picture 6 is locker. So the locker is made of books, so paper, books, and metal. So iron, magnesium, carbon, oxygen, phosphorus, sulfate, and silicone. And all my films are overdeveloped, as I explained in my lab report. And that's my pictures. Section 9, the conclusion. What I learned in doing this photography project, and that it's really taken for granted. Nowadays, we are so completely clueless to what goes on when we are taking pictures. We never stop to think or to question anything anymore, because everything is just given to us. Today, we can develop our pictures in a blink of an eye. By doing this whole big photography project, I appreciate it even more. By developing my own film and doing all this research about photography, it makes me have a new understanding and appreciation for photography. I also learned that is a lot of chemistry involved in photography. It is not simple as just taking a picture. It involves equations, temperature, reactants, electrons, chemical change, reactions, oxidation, reduction, measurements, the gold foil experiment, and stoichiometry. The list can go on and on forever. It relates to gold foil experiment because of the beam of alpha particles. The alpha particles all pass through the gold thin piece, and some bounce off the gold foil at different angles. This relates to photography because when you take a picture, the reflected light hits the lens at different angles. That's what I learned about photography. Go to our glossary part of the section and you can look up all the words on today's show. And these are our references. Thank you for watching The Mohanna Show.